I've been selling on Etsy for 5 years now, and in this video, I'm opening the Shop Manager dashboard from one of my very first Etsy shops to show you an honest timeline of how long it took me to get my first sale and clear month-by-month breakdowns of my traffic, orders, and revenue from the entire first year. I opened my shop in the middle of March 2020 and began creating listings the best I knew how. But in the beginning, I had no traffic and no organic orders, obviously. I'll be honest, my first listings weren't very good at all, but I used this time to try to learn as much as I could with the little resources there were online at the time. I studied Etsy in general, looked into simple design resources, and learned about print providers. On April 14th, 2020, 19 days after opening, my shop was suspended for no apparent reason. I didn't receive any emails, and no one at Etsy could give me a reason why it happened. At the beginning, I had no idea why, and I was really frustrated trying to get it back. I called and emailed Etsy support and tried to talk with a real human in their online chat, but later learned that Etsy uses automated security systems to protect the marketplace, and they can sometimes flag new shops as a way to verify that they are real. It took forever to get responses, so I figured I just needed to be patient and wait it out. By May, my shop was still suspended, and I hadn't received any clear answers yet, so I just kept waiting to see if I could get it back. On May 19th, 35 days after it was suspended, my shop finally got reinstated. At this time, my wife and I were in the middle of moving to a different state, so I put Etsy on the back burner. In June, we began listing again and dove back into Etsy. At the end of June, we finally got 2 orders, but they were from family members. Honestly, sharing your shop with family and friends is a great way to get those first orders and reviews. Reviews, especially with pictures, are so helpful in kickstarting everything. We sold a baby onesie and a t-shirt, and at that point, we were experimenting with all kinds of products just to see what would work. We were listing different types of clothing, mugs, bags, stickers, etc. We also had a very niche positivity themed store, and we were adding new listings consistently, averaging around 5 a day. For profit, we always wanted to make a minimum of $5 per shirt after material costs and fees. Our profit margin goal was 30%, so this month we walked away with roughly $12. For the sake of simplicity, my profit calculations aren't perfectly exact, but are close estimates. July is when we got our first organic sales from actual strangers. Our first one was on July 9th, and then a few hours later, another one came in. I will never forget this day. We sold a t-shirt and a mug to 2 complete strangers in different states. So looking back at our timeline, including the shop suspension and moving setbacks, it took 4 months for us to receive our first real sale. This was also the first month we started to see more consistent orders. So in June, we only had 61 visits, 2 orders, and our total revenue was $39.97. And then moving forward to July here, you'll see our visits jumped up to 655, we had 20 orders, and our total revenue was $806. You'll see a few spikes here. So on the 9th, we had 2 orders. On the 11th, we had 6 orders. And then for the rest of the month, we averaged around 0 to 2 orders a day. One thing that helped a lot was personally following up with our customers and asking them if they would be willing to support our small business even further by leaving a review if they were happy with their purchase. It worked so much better than we expected it to. We had 20 orders that month and 19 customers left reviews, which gave us social proof and helped build a strong foundation for the shop. A lot of these orders were still from family and friends because my mother-in-law shared our shop on her social media accounts. I remember a few orders came in one evening and I was super excited, but then found out she shared our shop online and it was from her family members and friends. Still exciting though, and it allowed us to practice and learn the whole fulfillment and customer service side of things. But we did have 7 organic orders that month. This month, we walked away with about $241 in profit. In August, our visits increased slightly, 22 orders, and total revenue was $483. We started to get more item favorites, more people started to follow our shop, and we had a total of 8 5-star reviews. We kept listing new products and designs, and sales continued to slowly trickle in. This month, we walked away with around $145 in profit. Just when we started to gain some momentum, our shop was suspended again on August 31st. Luckily, I was persistent and we were able to get it restored a few days later on September 2nd. Etsy told me that it was deactivated in error. We were so happy that it only took a few days this time to get it back. I want to mention here too that we could have easily given up both times our shop was suspended, but we didn't and we were persistent in getting it back. And I'm so glad we were. September was when our consistency finally started to pay off. You'll see in September that our visits spiked up to 6,300 views, we had 124 orders, our conversion rate did drop down, and our revenue was $3,994. Our shop slowly started to gain some momentum. We had several days where we had over 5 orders a day. So on the 20th we had 8 orders, and a few more of those days where we had 8 orders. And then on the 27th of September we had 16 orders, and on the 30th we had 12 orders. We had over 1,100 item favorites, 46 shop follows. We had 8 more 5-star reviews, as well as a repeat buyer. So things were starting to pick up. This was a very exciting time for us, starting to see the potential of selling on Etsy. This month, we walked away with around $1,198 in profit. This is the month we also changed our strategy. Instead of focusing only on positive themed products, we began designing anything and everything, covering a variety of niches and creating designs for different seasons and holidays, and it clearly paid off. I've often wondered what would have happened if we didn't make that switch. From this experience, I learned that having a general store works better than a niche-specific store. Can you still succeed with a niche store? Yes, absolutely, but for us, a general store ended up working out much better. October was another solid month. Things continued to grow, and by this time, we had created a lot of fall and Halloween-related designs that were performing well for us. One design in particular performed exceptionally well and accounted for the majority of our sales. We had 9,712 visits, we had 183 orders, and we did a total of $6,076 in revenue. All of our traffic was coming organically, and we were really focusing on SEO that matched what buyers were searching for. We worked on improving our titles and maximizing our tags with high volume keywords. We had 2 really high revenue days, so on the first we did $555, and then on the 11th we did $502. And our highest revenue days were our highest order count days. So on the first we had 16 orders, and on the 11th we had 14 orders. But throughout the entire month of October, we were averaging a fair amount of orders for us at that time. And you can also see that our reviews increased. So we had 66 total reviews for the month of October. And that's what's great with Etsy. As you continue to sell more, your listings begin to rank higher. And the more reviews you get, the more social proof you have, where it just compounds on itself and sales continue to pick up and your shop will continue to grow. Our profit for this month was around $1,822. November was still a good month for us, but things naturally slowed down after Halloween. We had 4,600 visits, 99 orders, and we did $3,600 in revenue. Our daily orders was consistent, but average. We didn't have any major spikes like we did in the previous month, but things were still steadily moving forward, and our shop was slowly growing. At the end of the month, we took home roughly $1,105. December wasn't as big of a month as we expected, especially compared to how strong October had been. We also didn't have nearly as many Christmas themed designs as we did for the fall season because we were still recovering from Halloween. On top of that, we didn't get our Christmas designs listed early enough to gain momentum before the holiday order deadlines. So in December, we had 3,800 visits, 82 orders, our conversion rate was 2.2%, and our total revenue was $2,836. People were continuing to favorite our items. We had 38 new shop follows and 57 reviews. At the time, we were using Printful, and there was a major stocking issue in the USA due to the pandemic for one of our best-selling items. As a result, our orders for that item were being fulfilled in Latvia, which caused longer shipping times, which customers were not excited about. What we learned from this was the importance of having backup print providers who can step in when you are in a bind. We ended up finding a local printer who could handle printing and shipping all of our orders until Printful returned to normal production speeds. And they were great, but it was quite the headache figuring everything out in real time. From this experience, we also learned that it's ideal to start listing holiday products 2 to 4 months in advance. So of that $2,836 in revenue, our profit for December was around $851. And during our first year of selling on Etsy, we were not running any Etsy ads. We were trying our best to rank organically, and Etsy was bringing 92% of our visits. January was about the same, but a little slower. The reason for this was that at the end of the year, we had been focusing only on holiday designs and weren't actively creating evergreen products. As a result, our sales didn't increase at all. What we learned is to not neglect evergreen designs during the holidays. Make sure you're designing for both seasonal and evergreen products so your shop doesn't slow down as much after the holidays. Our visits in January were 3,018, total orders was 79, and our total revenue was $2,855. And our take-home profit in January was about $856. February was still slower, but we had consistent daily sales, even if the volume wasn't very high. This month we made about $766 in profit. March was similar to the previous month. We had 3,500 visits, 95 orders. We were averaging between 2 and 7 orders a day, so no major spikes, but we were happy we were getting consistent daily sales. We were still getting a lot of item favorites, over 600, shop follows were 31, and our total reviews was 31 for the month. Our total revenue for March was $3,135, and we brought home about $940 for the month in profit. Looking back, it would have been ideal if everything had continued to grow and scale upward each month in our first year. But that wasn't the case for us. We peaked in the fall months, but then stayed about the same the rest of the months. Still, we learned a lot during our first year through trial and error, researching everything we could, and learning, improving, and implementing along the way. For the entire first year, I used Printful to fulfill all of my orders, and they were great, but I have since switched to Printify for better profit margins. If you're not familiar with them, they handle all the printing and shipping for you, so you can focus on creating designs and listing them on Etsy. It's a huge time saver and more eco-friendly since you only purchase inventory when a customer places an order, which is really important to me. And purchasing inventory after you receive an order means you really don't need much upfront money at all to start. For our first entire year on Etsy, from March 2020 to March 2021, we had 36,000 visits, 781 orders. Our overall conversion rate for our first year was 2.2%. And our total revenue for our first year on Etsy was $26,471.36. For our entire first year, with the suspension setbacks and having a 30% profit margin, we walked away with roughly $7,941. This number could be bigger too based on products sold with better margins and orders with multiple items because you make more. Is this a lot of money and a very impressive year? No, not necessarily, but that's an extra $8,000 we made online that we wouldn't have made if we didn't start. And that's only the beginning. Consistency really pays off because our next year we did even more. Sales were big in July, August, and November. In just 3 of the months of the following year, we did more than our first full year on Etsy. If you want me to do a part 2 of this video sharing our second year on Etsy, comment down below second year. So here's a recap of major things I learned throughout my first year on Etsy. I'm not going to go through each point, but you can screenshot it so you can learn from my mistakes and implement this advice into your own shop. Selling on Etsy has become even easier and more beginner friendly than when I started 5 years ago. There are now so many tools to help you create designs faster and better, like Creative Fabrica, Kittl, and Canva. There's research tools like EverBee to help you find trends and keywords more easily, programs like Simply Listed to help you list products more efficiently, and so many more. You can even sell personalized products that are completely automated, which blows my mind, using tools like HelloCustom or directly through Printify. There are also tons of free online resources to learn from, like my channel that you're on right now. Things have evolved and will continue to make selling easier for creators. If you haven't started yet, there's no better time than now. Is Etsy more saturated now? Yes, it is, but that doesn't mean you can't tap into new niches and bring something unique to the table. That's how you stand out. Think of brands like Stance Socks or Stanley Water Bottles. They entered highly competitive markets, but found a way to differentiate themselves and build very successful businesses. Like any business, you have to adapt to trends and maintain a competitive edge to succeed. While it may be harder than before, it is still 100% possible. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to learn the 9 habits that turn beginner Etsy sellers into 6-figure sellers, I recommend watching this video next. Click right here and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.